And what I know what the conservative side of America thinks, and I don't blame them. I watched Kamala's speech last night. It ended at 8:09, I guess 11:09 in the East. It wasn't until 11:23 till the one conservative guy, what's his name?
Scott Jennings.
This Lonely Scott, I call him.
David Urban was there too.
Wait a second. I watched from 8:09 to 8:23, they were just gushing about how great a speech it was. And I think she did fine. I didn't think it was as good as they were making it out.
I saw it, and to be honest, you're not missing anything groundbreaking if you haven't. Taking everything into account, it was incredibly dull. You know, of course, how some of these massive networks work. They have a way of making the most ordinary situations appear fascinating, especially when they involve certain political figures. Since everything Kamala Harris says or does is instantly described as innovative, it appears as though she invented the wheel in this case. Because the publicity is often so exaggerated, you would think that every word she makes is deserving of a standing ovation. The over-glorification makes you question if you're witnessing hoopla or journalism.
We're on Stephen Colbert's show, and he said something like, you guys at CNN just report the news straight, and the crowd burst into laughter. Look, I'm on CNN now. I guess we're on it right now. I mean, they show this show the next night. I don't know how we get away with it with all the fucks, but they do. And all these dirty jokes. But I'm glad, and I'm a big rooter for CNN. But that tells you a lot, doesn't it? I mean, how do you guys think you are doing is in that arena of like, this is a terribly divided country. We're not only politicized, a lot of people just hate the other side. And CNN, in my view, should be the place where both sides can watch. How do you think you're doing with that?
How is CNN is the place where both sides can watch. And I think, my show is evidence of that. We have lawmakers on from both parties. We'll have Elizabeth Warren on one night. We'll have Ted Cruz on another night. I think lawmakers from both parties should take questions, and you should push both of them. But on CNN being a place of credibility, I mean, look at what just happened in Chicago. We had 300 people from CNN on the ground covering that convention. There were several reporters from just our team alone on the floor, bringing it in real time to people. And I think CNN puts resources behind things and just brings a level of news that you don't get anywhere else. And
every time I watch CNN, I am shocked by how blatantly biased the coverage has become. It's not just a slight tilt in one direction, it's a dramatic, unmistakable tilt that's almost impossible to miss. The division of stories, the tone used in discussing specific topics, and the carefully chosen points of view used to frame specific stories all contribute to the impression of intentional bias. It appears that the idea of journalistic neutrality has been quietly supplanted by agenda-driven storytelling. It seems that the network no longer prioritizes objectivity and is more interested in swaying public opinion than offering facts. Even in the face of this obvious bias, someone will appear on TV and assert that CNN is a platform for people from all walks of life, political beliefs, and backgrounds to come together and feel heard. Really? Did she actually just say that CNN welcomes all points of view? Because in my opinion, and I'm sure I'm not alone, it doesn't feel that way at all. The CNN version that I'm seeing feels a lot more like an echo chamber, which is a space designed to emphasize one story while stifling or disregarding others. Eventually, you have to question whether the persons making these claims actually believe them to be true, or are they simply hoping that the audience is too distracted or too trusting to see the obvious differences? In any event, it is disappointing. If a network wants to be regarded as a fair news source, it must act as one. Otherwise, assertions of impartiality and representation become meaningless PR catchphrases that fail to capture the reality that viewers encounter on a daily basis.
Conservative in America, and I'm watching CNN just for the straight middle of the road. That's what I hear for 15 minutes. It's great, and then Lonely Scott. It does look, and when you see the path, it does look like tokenism. It's kind of like the same as The View. It's like it's almost better to have nobody there, like MSNBC, than to have this.
Well, I don't think you could say it's better to have nobody there than also lament the fact that you don't think the conservative guy, Scott Jennings, who is great, and we have him on my show all the time, spoke up early enough. I think it was a Democratic convention. They turned to Democrats, people like David Axelrod, who ran successful presidential Democratic campaigns first, for their analysis of this. And I don't think that you can say that CNN is anything but fair. I mean, look at that. We covered President Biden's exit from the race very closely, the pressure on him to get out. And I feel like I can speak with authority on this. I'm from Alabama. I'm from a very red state. I have a very conservative family, a lot of them who are Trump voters. They watch my show every night. And I think they know that they can trust me, that, we call bullshit on every side, not just whatever leaning our audience may be. And I think that's something that people actually want more of, is to hear from that. I think Scott's voice is really important, but I think other voices are important to hear from. And everyone who was speaking last night, it's not like they were all Democrats. I mean, we had Dana Bash, Jake Tapper, Abby Phillip, all my amazing colleagues.
They come across
giving
that way.
analysis.
They come across that way. In a moment like that, it was like 5-1. It always looks like 5-1.
5-1 sounds about accurate when describing the so-called balance panels that you see on CNN. Every time I watch, it feels more like a crowd of frenzied hyenas swarming the lone conservative speaker than a fair debate. It's not a discussion, but a performance. Additionally, it seems that the goal is not so much to explore conflicting viewpoints as it is to create the appearance that one side is overpowered, outspoken, and ultimately discredited. Take the CNN host who claimed that simply because her family watches her, she is objective. That isn't objectivity. It's just family support. Of course, you will have the support of your loved ones. That isn't a good measure of journalistic objectivity, though. That's the same as saying, look, my family thinks I'm doing a great job, so I must be totally impartial. Act quickly. That logic is incorrect. It's more like, let's watch the nice lady on TV because she seems fair, rather than because she is fair. That's just my view, but I'd love to hear yours. Do you observe the same discrepancy when you watch mainstream media? Or do you think that real conversations are still happening around the globe? Please provide your thoughts in the space provided for comments below so I know where you stand. If you'd want to see someone actually challenge the narrative, don't miss the video of Dr. Phil taking revenge on Whoopi Goldberg. Whether you agree with him or not, Bill Maher is spot on because he doesn't hold back when expressing what a lot of people are thinking. Not everyone agrees with his critique of the media's double standards, but he is absolutely right.
Same agencies that knew that are the agencies that shut down the schools for 2 years. Who does that? Who takes away the support system for these children? Who takes them away and shuts it down? And by the way, when they shut it down, they stopped the mandated reporters from being able to see children that were being abused and sexually molested, and in fact sent them home and abandoned them to their abusers with no way to watch, and referrals dropped 50 to 60%. So
there was also a pandemic going on, and they were trying to save
kids' lives. Remember, we know a lot of folks who died during this. So it wasn't, people weren't laying around eating bond, but, well, you know what? We're lucky. Maybe we're lucky they didn't, because we kept them out of the places that they could be sick, because no one wanted to believe we